gonna say this is where you end up working on with NASA on your back.
Yeah.
This girl, I watched this video, man, and it's just like they're all over the map with this stuff. Like what gravity is, and it's amazing what people, like I said, will believe how gullible or naive you have to be to believe in what they're doing at NASA or any space agency or anything else they do. It's pretty much just based on conjecture and just natural effects that happen every day. It has nothing to do with gravity or a force of it. They're just trying to explain everything, and they're looking for that magic, whatever it is. I have no idea. Eh, I, you guys up for it?
Is this a Vomit Comet 0G plane?
Yep.
Yeah.
And she goes into detail and describes each one of the theories and how they don't work or do work or whatnot. Compared to what I've been told, it's like none of it really works, and they don't really have any answers. Is what I gather personally.
You mean of what gravity, quote unquote, is, right?
Yeah.
Like,
she literally gets into it about halfway through. She starts telling you, well, if gravity is just acceleration between two masses, what is gravity? Like, that's the question. And even, I guess she's a normie. She's asking the same questions that we all ask, right? When you first got involved, like,
dude, it definitely cannot be acceleration between two masses when things that don't even have mass are affected by it.
Yeah. So I think it's relative density and disequilibrium. Actually, there's a better. Archimedes had a good explanation for it. I mean, and it works. But they actually renamed it specific gravity. It's just due to each one of the gravities are due to the medium that it's in or the surface of the place that it's at. Things don't just fall at that standard rate. The acceleration changes from place to place. And I guess zero gravity is just free fall. That's really what it describes. You know what I'm saying? It's yeah. There's no way to get equilibrium while you're in free fall. And you have to be in the lesser medium to have.
Well, yeah, because you're explaining 0G. Okay, so yeah, the G is the weight of your, like your body, for example, going down a roller coaster or going up. You know what I mean? Like that's what the G is. So that if there's 0G, that's what you're talking about. But it still doesn't mean there's no gravity happening. Still, you know what I mean? Like you're still in a system that has gravity. So
technically, you still have weight.
Technically, you're not in zero gravity when you're on, one of these things. You're just falling. That's all.
Yeah, but you're not really subject to what the force of gravity it is. Your weight still does matter, and if you were in a thicker medium, you would actually find buoyancy quicker, or you would actually stop. The density towers prove that too. But what they do with the 0G tower, they take a density tower with them, and they'll show, oh look, everything's looking for equilibrium. It's falling. There's no gravity. They subscribe gravity, the force that holds everything in buoyant, but they've never proven it to be an actual thing. So the best way to do it is just leave gravity out of it. You don't need the G there at all if it's just acceleration, or you're finding your equilibrium. That's all you're doing. That's what free fall is until you reach a heavier medium or a more viscous medium, you'll actually won't slow down. Or you
actually mount up.
Yeah.
Oh, what? You're talking about Warren G.
Warren G?
Yeah, Warren G. Are we regulators?
Regulators, mount up. Warren G is funny. Gravity, Warren Gravity.
yeah, but Suge Knight's an asshole, though, wasn't he?
Warren capital G, Big Gravity.
Big G.
Nate Dizzle.
Yeah. But technically, the word gravity.
Yeah, rest in peace, Nate Dogg.
Yeah. Word up. I haven't heard any music out of that group in a long time, have they?
Well, Nate Dogg is dead, and Warren G is old. He's what's the name's cousin?
Snoop.
So yeah, Snoop's cousin. Yeah. Well, everyone's Snoop's cousin, but I think he's really Snoop's cousin in real life. Yeah, we're all his cousins. Cuz.
So this is, I think, where Einstein got his upward rising Earth from, because if there's vectors in all directions due to other things in nature like gases and stuff, right? You know what I'm talking about.
Does she got a Space Force patch on?
No.
Or is that Star Trek?
That's just another one of those. What do they call those? What's it called?
It's a
What's that
NASA
shape?
patch. It
The
really is.
shape, though, there's a name for that shape.
The
It's in
vector.
everything.
The vector patch. That's what the point's for. The vectors. The V.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So Issa's the person that, or the girl. That's what she's flying up with. So you've heard of them, right? The what European Space Station? Not Space Station. The European
Space
Space
Agency.
That's the word.
What is it called?
A European Space Agency. ESA.
Oh yeah, ESA. Yeah. That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Yeah, but what does ESA launch? Have you seen them launch any of those dildos in the air? No, not very often.
Who?
ESA.
Oh, gotcha. I didn't hear you said first.
We watched JAXA put one up yesterday, the day before. They launched it out of New Zealand. They were launching one of them satellites up. It looked like a box with wings on it.
Sweet.
And then SpaceX did another one right after that.
Wait, GT Mustang says she looks mulatto, but I think he meant mulatto, like half black. Does she look half black?
No,
I can't see her face, so.
Well, let's take a look at her. You get a
mulatto.
Let's get a closer look.
Yeah, we're investigating.
Roll that beautiful.
This plane is about to send me into zero gravity for 10 minutes, and I'm going to try to explain why gravity.
10 minutes? That's pretty long.
While I go without it for the very first time.
Normally, it's like
gravity.
Gravity, not 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, I'm pretty sure they do flights.
That's a long one.
That's why we get some of the videos out of.
Yeah, I'm sure they go way higher. You just go double high and get double the weightlessness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
simple.
We'll call gravity weightlessness from now on. Right.
We don't actually need gravity.
Why is there gravity? Why does it work?
Turns out that gravity is one of the most controversial subjects in all of physics.
This is not some philosophical debate. A huge amount of the tech that you use every day all depend on our current limited understanding of gravity.
If we can understand this a little bit better, we can build more things that are huge if true.
So what really is gravity? In this video, we're going...
If this theory of gravity is true, we could be able to build a lot better things if we can actually prove this. So that hinges everything within their world view. You know what I'm saying? They're still trying to prove it.
Don't you think they'd be out of breath if that was really happening? Anyway, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but...
Maybe they got a nice pressurized cabin there. Because, I mean, there's people that are just sitting around. Look over here. This guy's like riding the bike.
It's running the treadmill.
Yeah. So where are they?
On this half of the ship.
Yeah. On this half of the set. Yeah. We're filming a whole show for Hollywood.
Deep to learn how it truly works together.
And we're going to do this in 4 levels, starting now.
Hey, say hey to Joe King.
Yo, Chad.
Right now, I'm in France, and I'm about to get on that special plane.
Special plane?
I've been invited by the European Space Agency as they run experiments for their real upcoming space missions. They do like 2 of these a year. They invite 1 civilian each time. It's a really big honor.
You think that's odd? They're actually doing this before they do their space missions, and they're filming. Kind of like the way they do, their pool exercises before we launch a rocket.
Their timing is immaculate.
I know, like they planned it or something. Yeah.
What's up, Chad?
Who's Chad?
Joe King, man. He's a fellow Chad.
I remember now. Yeah. There's not very many Chadwicks out there, are there?
Mm-hmm.
Not too many Chadwicks out there.
I think he's a Chadwick. I'm just a Chad.
A Chad and a Chadwick in the same place.
John Wickless.
John Wickless. Is Scott still in the room? Because I don't hear him. Scott.
What?
Scotty. Hey, Scotty. Where you at? I don't think he's gone.
Where are you?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah, there you are.
Okay.
I got to say hi to Mr. Bird, too, and Mustang.
I'm nervous.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe, where you going with that gun in your hand? I caught my old lady messing around with another man.
I'm also really nervous. It's going to be great. They call this plane the Vomit Comet. I'm really hoping that I don't get sick. And as we're getting ready to take off, I am realizing how little I know about this thing that's been holding me down my whole.
Does it remind you of space cadets? They're all getting in the shuttle. We're going to the moon. You ever watched that, have you? They took like 6 people and they put them in the space program, and they won this lottery or something, and they were going to be on the first rocket, and they were going to go to the moon. They actually thought they did.
I want to say yes, but I don't know. But what was it on?
It was on BBC.
Oh,
it was a BBC.
Well, maybe not.
show.
That ain't what I was thinking.
Yeah, they actually convinced these 4 or 6 people that they were actually going to get on a shuttle and go to the moon. They actually believed it. They put them in this room off the side of an airport in London. They had decided to make it look like I guess the moon station or whatever. They actually thought they were on the moon.
If she had red hair, she kind of looked like Julia Roberts.
Yeah, kind of. But she doesn't look that long either.
I don't know why. I was just, while you were talking, I was staring at her face, and I was like, yeah, she kind of looks like Julia Roberts.
Yeah, I like the international patch they have for ESA. They got all the international flags on the outside of it. And this vector flag here is for, I guess, the vomit comet. Ugh, the vomit comet.
Ghostbusters.
Space Busters. All right. Let's see what else happens. It's going to be interesting.
Life. Here's what I thought I knew about gravity from high school physics. We'll call this level 1. So what I learned in school is that gravity is what holds me down on Earth. But it's a force that objects with mass exert on each other. So the Earth pulls me toward it, and I, in some tiny way, pull back on the Earth too. Same thing with the sun. The sun pulls on the Earth, and the Earth, in some little way, pulls back on the sun too.
And the math that describes this is beautiful. It's just the relationship between the mass of one thing times the mass of the other thing divided by the distance between them squared. And g is a constant. Don't worry about it. So this equation tells you how strong that pull will be.
Don't worry about it.
I'm getting all lightheaded. I don't do well with math equations.
No, it's a real tough one. F doesn't add up to B, G, M, or M. How do you add letters together?
That's above my pay grade.
I know.
It's multiplication and division.
I know how it works. The size
and squaring.
Is squared. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Times the size of this mass squared is R2. That's your, I guess, the full pull. But I mean, doesn't gravity push too, according to their math?
Get the whole pull or the full pull?
The full pull and the whole pull, yeah, and the in between push. But if you're Dell, there is only a push. There's not a pull, I think.
And where do those begin and where do they end?
They don't. It's a never-ending equation.
All right.
But until today, Earth has always pulled me right down into the ground, which stops me. So to experience the raw, unfiltered effects of Earth's gravity, I need to go into free fall, which is exactly what this plane does. It's going to rise up and then plummet toward the Earth. This is the part that's making me nervous. And as it does that, I'm going to be falling, and the plane is going to be falling around me. And during that fall, I should feel like I'm floating, like a skydiver or an astronaut, which is why real astronauts train and run experiments on these planes. But hang on, why is rapidly falling anything like peacefully floating?
Think about it this way. So the Earth's gravity creates a pull at 9.8 meters per second squared, or 1g. If you're in a rocket out in space,
but it's also a force. Pull is not a force, by the way. You understand that, right?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
They don't understand. They don't understand what they're even talking about.
Yeah. Well, the 9.8 meters is really
the opposite of a force. It doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why Dell was like.
Not meant to.
That's why
It's like magnetism. It's like saying magnetic and then punching. Like, oh, my punch is the same thing as a magnet.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
If you listen to like this, Bob the science guy, he'll explain gravity by using magnetism.
If you got a metal plate in your face.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is that when she gets done with this, she's going to do exactly the same thing, but she's going to say that that's part of gravity, which I don't understand. You have 2 different forces, 3 or 4 different forces by the time. That's why she said there's 4 different phases to this that actually add up to what gravity really is. So there.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it kind of is like that in reality, though, as far as like it's buoyancy, density, and electrostatics.
or
pretty
magnetism.
Much. And electromagnetism, that's what I meant. Electrostatic magnetism, yeah.
So the whole point is that, like, where's gravity in that equation?
Well, gravity is what you're trying to equate. So gravity isn't just like a thing by itself. You have to like have obviously a formula, right?
Well, that's just a formula, but
that's what they're trying to do. You know,
you can replace it with any other number or letter. It doesn't. It's not even. And even when they get done with most of those equations, they throw the g out as a constant. They don't even use it. It doesn't apply as a force to anything. Magnetism, heat. There's a lot of other ones that actually apply a force to something. You follow what I'm saying? Like they're actual, real, tangible forces. So a lot of the times in the equation, when they're actually, especially in astronomy, when they're like trying to figure out trajectories and stuff, they don't even equivocate the gravitational force. The other forces are actually what make up the distance in the physical world. There's not like you're not being tethered to gravity, or you wouldn't be able to move. You got to equivocate little g and big G in their equation for their whole universe to work on the.
So you know how what's his name, Ken Wheeler says no one understands magnetism except for me, right?
He's not the only one who understands.
Well, no, he just says that, and because they don't explain it properly. It's the same exact thing. It's where we have something that they can't explain, and they just make up things, and they just say, "Oh, that's what it is," and they just use variables and numbers, and they explain it, and they say, "This is what it is."
Yes, that's why I said when they do most of their equations with gravity, they don't even use the G most of the time. It's like Coriolis effect with artillery; they don't even use that. So the whole point is, why is it even brought up? That's the question. You're just talking about the weight and the density of a.
Well, it's because they want to keep the whole idea of bodies, attracting bodies, and so like they're like, oh, the moon and the sun and the stars and all these things are all equivocally like rotating and all these things according to heliocentric model. Well, to make it seem like
Yeah, there's displacement
to make it seem real.
Yeah. Well, there is displacement in that. I mean, I'm pretty sure there is medium there. Yeah, and if you have an object, it will displace it. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And the one theory that supposedly pushed gravity into the mainstream, Newton's gravity, was basically finding the mean density of the Earth. Is what they were trying to calculate. They didn't measure it. They just calculated what it would be if the Earth was this size. So that's where the 9.8 meters per squared came from. It's just the density of the Earth
per second squared.
Yeah. Has nothing to do with any pull or push.
That rocket is accelerating at exactly 9.8 meters per second squared. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference between standing on the ground and flying in that rocket.
Einstein called this the equivalence principle. And honestly, it sounded pretty intuitive to me at first. And then the more I thought about this, the more it started to just break my brain. Because if gravity and acceleration are the same.
Here we go. This is where it gets interesting. Why is it the same here and here? Is the rocket like Earth? I mean, you could be flying in that rocket so far, supposedly away from Earth, you still have that same equation, right? The acceleration versus gravity. That's what she's going to point out.
It means that being in free fall without air resistance is the same as floating in space because they're both 0G, right?
Yeah, remember this idea. It's going to be important later. But right now,
I don't totally understand this yet.
Equivalency fallacy?
So I'm going to go try it.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Let's do this.
You equivocate it, and then you call it the same. Fallacious.
Because they say you don't feel a difference. But I mean, if you're in a rocket,
it's the same exact thing. Look.
Why do you think people pass out in jets and rockets when they hit extreme acceleration?
Dude, it's like saying, those things they have where there's a giant fan and it blows up. It's like for skydiving testing, practicing. Yeah. And it's like saying, this is the same exact thing as space right here.
It sure is.
Wind blowing you up. Same thing.
Yeah.
Might as well be. I mean, in retrospect, but yeah.
That's what it's exactly the same fallacy that they're explaining right here.
Yeah. But I mean, like, if there's no gravitational force, it's a 0G. That means you're basically experiencing a 0G right now, unless you're in motion, right? Because they only use that force when you're in a cockpit, or they only rate the G force when you're actually in a jet fighter or you're in motion.
It's only the reference frame of the jet around you that makes it seem like you're like, oh, look, we're in space. That's what they're trying to say. You know what I mean? Like, I can throw you up in the air and you fall. You're in zero G as soon as you start falling.
Okay, so
Same
if
thing.
you're flying in an open cockpit, are you in 0G?
Open cockpit? What do you mean?
I mean, you would feel a force, wouldn't you?
You'd have to be. I mean, if you're falling in an open cockpit,
flying forward at 500 miles an hour in an open cockpit, you're going to feel a force from the wind and the friction from all the things around you.
Well, if you kind of went over a hump, that's what they do. You know, they a parabolic flight. You know, then you would, same thing. If you're open, it'd be the same. I'm just saying that they're trying to equivocate it to the space station or like being in space because of the controlled atmosphere, the controlled environment that you're in.
Well, this is the only time that I could actually say conservation of momentum at any point would be actually like if you're traveling inside the cockpit at 500 miles an hour, you had a bump and you came up in the air, you would land right where you were, right? Because you're actually the force of the plane is actually pushing you forward. The thrust from the plane. You're moving with the plane at the same time.
If you were going in a straight line, yes. But if you were going in an elliptical orbit, no.
No. That's
exactly.
where gravity
once you have a curve involved, if there's a curve involved, then you're going to be hitting the roof.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're going in a straight line, though, like on a train or whatever, if you're in a straight line, yes, linear path,
and your distances,
conservation of motion would drop you back down in your seat properly. Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't work on a spinning ball like that, does it?
No, it doesn't. That's why that's like hitting a golf ball. Like I hit a golf ball at 300 yards, and the golf ball should be way different than, on a spinning ball. Because the golf ball, the spinning golf ball.
You couldn't live on a spinning golf ball, could you?
Especially if they had a bunch of dimples.
This is why we have to have that vacuum of space that they clean. So I would like to see it. Let's go. You ready?
Strapped in.
All right.
Jesus.
Okay, so we just pulled up. I'm now feeling increased gravity. You might be able to tell in my face. Whoa, this feels like
a parabolic flight.
It feels like being in a car.
Oh, where are they going to? 28,000?
You're accelerating.
As we shoot up, the acceleration that I'm feeling is about the same as being on a planet with twice Earth's gravity, or 2G.
I'm feeling squished on the floor.
How do you feel 2G if you're not on another planet?
No, wasn't they trying to say that as if you were on a planet that has double the... It's like as if we were on like Uranus where it has double the gravity, man.
Well, she's being pushed up by the plane. It has nothing to do with a natural force whatsoever. And neither is this so-called free fall that they're talking about here. This is not a natural thing neither. I mean, I guess if you jump off a cliff, you might get a free fall thing, but you have to get really high to get that. And you have to, it's because you're in a medium that's thinner, the higher you go. That's why you fall faster. If you jump from here to there, the rate you fall is not exactly the same, is it? You can't even time.
Well, you're talking about like terminal velocity, like where you eventually level out.
So the test of acceleration, that's not gravity, supposedly. Or they're trying to equivocate both gravity and acceleration. Or what
Roger, do you like to go on roller coasters? You ever been on a roller coaster and you're like floating in the seat? Same exact thing, except they just do it for a long period of time, like 10 minutes.
You're just being thrown, is what it is, basically.
Yeah, it's thrown up, thrown down, yeah.
That has nothing to do with the force, though. Anyways.
And then when we hit this point, oh my God.
I feel all of my thoughts just left my head. I feel this is amazing.
0G feels so weird. It's not just your outsides, it's your insides too. So
So let's say if they're in like Artemis, the insides start feeling kind of funny too, right? Yeah, I wonder why. Everything in there just floating free.
stomach is moving around and your blood isn't getting pulled down from your head like normal. So you feel like there's more pressure inside of your skull. And then touching something will move you way farther than you think.
Lay back down.
Oh my God! It goes so fast.
Keep your head still.
Okay.
Sit up.
That felt unbelievable. I don't even know what just happened. It's like nothing I've ever experienced before in my life.
Did you enjoy it?
I think so. I'd like to try it again.
Or would you like to get out?
No, I'd like to do it again, please.
We did it again. 1G, 2G, 0G, 2G, 1G, again and again and again. To see this happening, just watch what happens when I throw this ball.
This is 2G. I'm about to go into 0G.
This is Einstein's equivalence principle in action. I know that I'm falling in this plane, but I
feel nothing. I don't feel like I'm falling. I feel like I'm floating. But here's the craziest part. It's not just like I'm floating in space. It is exactly the same thing.
Yeah, this is where...
So what they're basically equivocating space to is a container. Think about it, guys. Mm-hmm. So you have to be in a moving container to get this effect. So outside the container, you wouldn't get this effect, would you? Nope. You would just be falling fast to hit the ground. Let's test that out.
I'll let you go first.
And no wind too. You have to remember there's no wind. So.
Yeah, there's no wind there. Yeah, that would definitely be, and the pressure from the outside air is completely different too. So you would be feeling the pressure from the atmo too. You'd be feeling that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And so skydiving would be more like what you would actually feel if you were just in space, I guess.
Things start to get weird.
You will look around and everything will look like it's weightless. In reality, you're inside a plane and you might think to yourself, well, this is some sort of an illusion. What Einstein realized is that situation of you in the plane and that situation of an astronaut deep in space are equivalent. They're identical. It's not that one looks like the other, but they are the same situation.
If we covered all of the windows, there is nothing that I could do, no test, no experiment, to prove that I'm falling in a plane and not floating in space. This is exactly what Einstein was talking about. And actually...
So the displacement of the plane is actually cushioning it's displacing the air. Yeah.
Appeal to authority.
No, but think about it though. I mean, like if you're not in that plane and the air is not contained in it, what the plane's actually doing is displacing the medium around you. That's why you feel like you're falling, or not falling, floating. You actually are falling, technically.
Yeah.
You don't have to have an experiment to figure this out.
Astronauts orbiting Earth aren't really floating. They're falling too.
They're literally falling towards the Earth all the time. And they're just cruising so fast that they miss the horizon and they never crash into the Earth. If you were to stop it from cruising so fast, it would drop like a stone right down to the Earth. So they are falling all the time. They are experiencing weightlessness all the time.
Okay, fine. So falling is floating. Why does that actually matter? It matters because it means that this plane actually made gravity disappear.
No. Gravity is gone. It's not there.
How did gravity disappear? Well, it was never really there to begin.
That's what I was saying. Gravity's not a thing.
Yeah, the gravity that you experience on Earth isn't what you think. We're about to enter level 2. But first...
That's what we've been saying this whole time.
I've done 6 parabolas, up and down. I'm feeling a little bit nauseous, I gotta be honest.
Just take some time, relax, sit against the wall, chill out.
Okay, while I do that in the plane, let's talk about level 2. That version of gravity that I learned in school, the masses pulling on each other version, right? That came largely from Isaac Newton. And his...
A Mason who ate a lot of what? What did he consume a lot of? I think it was...
Newtons.
No, mercury.
Fig Newtons.
Big Newton's Mercury. No, he actually had a problem with Mercury. He was an alchemist, actually. Alchemist. He was a member of all the secret societies, and
He's an alcoholic.
Yeah, he was out. Well, I think he was. Yeah, and he was an outcast from his school, and he was really considered stupid. But that was just. But he's still a genius. But he was part of a rich family, and he became a head of the Royal Sciences. What do they call those things for the crown? So he was in charge of the science. So that's why he got to make all these laws like gravity and stuff.
He's in charge of the science, huh?
Yeah, he was. Dude, he was in
chief of the sciences.
Yep. And before he died, he actually ran the Royal Mint. That's the last thing he did.
Secretary of Science.
Yeah. The Royal Society of Sciences.
Way of thinking about the universe persisted, largely intact, for hundreds of years. But then Albert Einstein came along, and he had a new thought that caused our entire view of space.
You took a picture with him today, didn't you, Cubby?
Not me with him, but a picture of him. Yep.
Like you went back in time in the photo, you know. The Mandela effect. You actually met Einstein, believe it or not.
Yeah, I shook his hand. Made his hair stand up.
Well, I mean, he didn't need no help with that. Look at it. Static.
Space and time to wobble. Oh, look how cool this is. But before I explain how, what I'm building right now is from our sponsor, KiwiCo. I'm so excited because this is such a perfect fit for this show. When I want to learn about something new, I always try to find or that tiny astronaut in your life who wants to learn about the solar system, and one that I'm really excited about that's a bit more advanced, where you use my code CLEO for universe wobble.
Okay, the important thing to remember is that scientists, especially physicists, are lazy people. That's the most important thing. And what I mean by that...
So if physicists are lazy people, how do they test physical things out? You see, the first rule about physicists, they're lazy people. They don't do anything to have somebody else do it for. Hey, boy!
Stands to reason.
Yeah, it does. PhDs that sit around and just get lost in thought.
Is that we want the minimal number of equations to explain the most stuff.
The holy grail here would be one equation or theory
to
describe
that just tells
everything.
You a lot right
but
there.
But we're not
dude.
there yet. A few
They
decades
want the
before lazy
minimal
Einstein.
The minimal amount of anything to explain what they want to explain, which is why they said dark matter, dark energy. Boom, there it is.
But I mean, like if you use the equivalency principle, if you use specific gravity, it actually is Archimedes' theory replaced with gravity. So each specific gravity has to do with the medium that it's in and the weight and the density of each object. So you can actually do an equation and actually make it work, like make a ship float, make an airplane fly, stuff like that. That's why you have Archimedes' principle, because it actually takes each material, its lift effect or its density and its buoyancy, and you figure out how far it'll float, how fast it can go. So these just general equations are bullshit. Basically, that's all I'm saying. Just, the E and whatever it is equals pi or square or whatever the hell it is. Those general equations are done by lazy people who think they're intellectuals, and they get paid a lot of money and they get Nobel Peace Prizes. All right. Speaking of like this guy right here, but he's not really that smart. He just
that guy right there. That guy did nothing ever. He made a blouse. That's all he did.
Made a blouse,
and he married his cousin twice. MC squared.
Yeah, and his nieces that he married, he actually made them into their harem or something like that. They were older girls, so I'm just saying, just like the Epsteins of today.
Lazy James Clerk Maxwell had realized that he could distill all of electricity and magnetism down to a single thing, described in just 4 equations: electromagnetism. And those equations found that light was an electromagnetic wave. And these waves come in different energies across a spectrum. And weirdly, all light had the same constant speed.
And I think you can guess
when it comes to
what that speed is. It's the speed.
That speed is just an agreed upon speed. It's not an actual accurate speed, because there are mediums that affect light. You watched it.
Yeah, but really quick though, Maxwell was an actual real person, way smarter than Einstein, way smarter.
You can use his principles in electronics. They do it all the time.
Yeah, the guy was he's a real scientist, not freaking Einstein.
Yeah, I mean Einstein.
Light. So here we have an enormous, profound implication that shocked everybody. That's insane. Nothing has a constant speed. It makes no sense.
But it's not just some equations. We have tested this.
This is incredibly widely tested. These are facts we can.
It doesn't have a constant speed, by the way.
Everybody was confused by this because up until then, to measure something's speed, you divided how far it goes in the time it took to get there. But if light is always going the same speed, no matter the distance or the time, then there's something wrong here.
There is something wrong there. Yeah, she
it goes through different freaking mediums. Like, come on, dude.
And even with electricity, the current flow is actually different in different conductors too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing travels the same speed in any situation. That's crazy to say.
And not all woods float the same. Not all metals float the same. Not all boats are equal. And so gravity is not like a constant force like they want it to be. It changes.
Well, yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
And that's why I said specific gravity is just Archimedes' principle with the word gravity thrown in there. It literally is. And that's what engineers use when they build stuff, dude. They don't go out and grab that 8 inches per mile squared or whatever, millimeter squared, 9.8 meters squared. They don't use that principle when they build stuff. Sorry. The world is not treated this way.
It's 9.8 meters per second squared.
Yeah, they don't use that when they make products and build things. They don't. And the people that go to school and learn this and think they're actual physicists and engineers and stuff, that for it's all theoretical. And that's why it's a fantasy world, dude. This is all fake, dude. It really is.
Maybe there's something wrong with what we mean by distance and time, or if not wrong, maybe there's something relative.
This was Einstein's huge if true moment.
Here we go with another bunch of
bullshit. Dude, I almost just laughed my ass off when she said maybe there's something relative. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I know. I almost spit on my beer.
What's wrong with his jacket? Did his picture look like this, Cubby? The one they had
there?
They
all look like that.
Holy crap.
The best part is that, they've never shown a video of him ever explaining anything like real, never drawing out any equation. You ever seen that? They always show pictures of him next to an equation that they say he wrote, but he never shows them. They never show him writing the equation and explaining it.
Big Pine got an equation.
It's hilarious.
Wait a minute.
It's like Helen Keller, dude.
Check out Big Pine. Specific gravity determines what the amount of alcohol in beer. So yeah, that's specific gravity.
Specific.
Yeah,
the only other picture I see him is when he's got his college shirt on.
Oh, he's got a college shirt? Oh, nice.
You never seen the poster? You know what I'm talking about?
I think I have. I know what you're talking about.
You know the posters?
Or the stupid sticking his tongue out with his hair all crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody in college, when I was in the 90s, everybody in college had that on their wall. And I was like, why do you have that dumbass picture on your wall?
Well,
I never understood it.
Dude.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like you think you're smart because you... Einstein's your savior. It's almost like you put Jesus on your wall or something. Like my mom would have Jesus. It's it's total idol worship.
Yeah,
idolatry.
I wish that
I don't think did he actually teach that much? I don't think he taught that long at all.
Who knows what he actually did at all?
I know.
Dude, I think freaking Stephen Hawking taught more than Einstein taught.
They had the cardboard cutout of him at that observatory, and one other picture where it was undoubtedly photoshopped him in. But I totally forgot to ask. I was like, so you're telling me this guy came here and you only got one photo of him, and it looks exactly like this, but it's photoshopped in with a bunch of other people?
Yeah, I thought.
Come on, man.
Oh yeah, we talked about that one. Yeah.
So this is all
he's standing in front of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're all standing in front of the telescope, and you can see.
Yeah. It was obvious. It was so much cut-ins. Old school Photoshop.
Yeah.
Man.
Did Einstein actually go there in real life?
Supposedly.
Yeah.
So the story goes, but
it was probably one of those
where you
things like he sold his name to like say, you know what I mean, like where they say they did it, or they, you know what I mean, like it's like
appeal to authority.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, Michael Jordan saying, "Oh, those are my shoes," but like he didn't even have anything to do with the shoes. They're like just garbage.
Yeah, and he did make a blouse, so he did do something. And I think he designed an airplane wing design. It was actually a suck ass design too.
It was one patent.
Yeah.
I thought. I mean, that's what I mean. Who cares? He didn't do anything for real.
He used to wear women's shoes and walk around the house, I guess.
He's one of the fakest characters ever.
Yeah. So they made him a complete eccentric fucker who.
I said that in one of the videos.
Did you?
Yeah,
I can't wait to watch some of that.
I don't know if anybody heard me, but
we'll take a look at one of them. Or two
you know what the best thing that ever happened was that movie. What was it called? Young Einstein. I mean, that movie was kind of funny. They made fun of it. They made fun of him.
Yeah, it was stupid, but
you remember that, right? Yeah, it was a dumb movie, but like they were making kind of fun of it. The idea,
what was
like
that guy's name? Yahoo Serious or something?
Yeah,
like that? Goofy as that.
Serious is a funny actor, dude. He's funny. I like him.
How much? What else was he in?
I think he's got a couple of.
I don't even know, but like, remember it was like Surfboard, and I don't know. It's been so long. That was the '90s, like a long time ago.
He was like, what's his name? Earl Goes to Camp or whatever.
Kind of like that, but it's a little more satire, though, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Well, let's see what else Mr. Stein has to say. But he did say this one thing, that everybody would call me a Jew. This is one of his supposed quotes. And now everybody thinks he's a Jewish mathematician and professor. I don't think he ever.
Patent office.
Yeah.
Seriously, said he worked at the patent office.
Yeah. That's what I think that was his job most of his life, though. But I mean, I think he went to Princeton, according to what I've heard, right? Or was it honorary? They gave him an honorary.
I don't know much about the guy, to be honest.
Yeah,
I really never took him serious enough to care.
No, but I mean, a lot of people do, man. A lot of people you think they're
for
sure. Einstein. Yeah.
$47.
Me and D had a good laugh at his first video we watched on him. That he thinks that actually things physically stretch if they go the faster they go. Like it gets bigger. Physics make it grow longer. Or we were talking about, well, I could get my car going fast enough. I could have a stretch limo by the end of the week.
There you go.
Yeah.
He realized that if light is always the same speed, then distance and time have to be able to change. Going back to our original Newtonian...
now we're shrinking the world. Okay. Or the universe is going for it. Like if light's going the same speed, and if it gets there a shorter time or a faster time, it's not time. It's not the light that slowed down. It's the universe that shrank, or it got longer. So this is where they get all these ideas, man. Red shift, blue shift, the expanding universe. And
it's gonna be all right, Roger. You always let out a big sigh.
Yeah, it was like Roger's gonna have a heart attack.
I'm not gonna have. It's just annoying.
Just kidding. It sounded like that though. I heard it.
It's funny. It's funny. Yeah.
Like, oh, man, this is too much.
Like, this is just stupid. That's all I'm.
No,
thinking.
I agree, because like when you really think about it, like try to like figure out the truth, and it's like these people just feed us with nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're energy vampires. It is draining.
Yeah. It makes me want to cover other topics every once, but I thought this was a good video since you went to the observatory.
What is that noise?
I have no idea. Scott, somebody talking in the background?
Yeah.
My bad.
That's all right.
No worries. I just didn't know what it was.
We didn't know where it was coming from. It's a ghost.
Description of gravity. This part was distance. But if distance isn't stable, what is gravity anymore? It was so beautiful, and now the whole thing is breaking down. Hang with me here. I need a little break. Remember when I said they called this the...
Poor Newton. You see him? He lost his shit, too.
Vomit comet?
I did throw up. Didn't get that on camera. But feeling much better. John, what did you just call what I just did?
Tactical chunder.
A tactical chunder. Just a tactical chunder.
Okay, back to my guy Einstein. So he goes back to the drawing board to reformulate not just gravity, but basically everything else. He spends the next decade struggling with this relative nature of space and time. And like Maxwell unified electricity and magnetism, Einstein finally emerges with a new model that unifies space and
time. Yes, here we go. The fabric. The cotton, the fabric of our lives. Yeah, space-time. You ever get caught in space time, guys? You ever get caught there? Yeah.
No, not that. No, maybe in my dreams or something.
It could happen. But it's the equation. It's got to be a force.
Time, space-time. In Einstein's new equations, space-time gets warped by stuff, like our sun, or Earth, or a black hole, or even you. In some infinitesimally small way, you're warping space and time around you.
I love that. Now, think about what that means.
Let's say I give you a little push, and you go floating off into space. If we zoom out and look at your path through space-time, we'd see that it's not actually flat.
It looks kind of flat to me. From what I can tell, but it's got little divots in it, like it's a golf course. Okay,
looks like
so this is where we're going to break out the tarp and the marbles.
Like one of the massage things that you put in your head,
or the what do you call that? The bouncy thing, bouncing on a trampoline.
Yeah, trampoline of time. Yeah, that's where we are.
Sweet.
I know, trapeze.
There's all of this stuff warping space-time around you. So you're going with the flow. And the main bit of stuff near you...
My question is, how do orbits work in this imaginary world? I mean, if everything's putting a divot, how is it moving around? Does time move now? Does the fabric of space-time actually cause these orbits with an imaginary other force now that we supposedly have?
I don't know, but they had a model. I took a picture of it just like this up there at the thing.
Oh, imagine that. Shocking. Yeah. Let's get to it. We'll get to your model.
Is Earth. And look, as you follow your path, you're drifting toward its surface. It looks like you're experiencing gravity. But crucially, there isn't any force pulling you in. It helps me to think about it this way.
You have two people at the equator and you tell them to walk north. They appear to come together.
But there's no actual force causing them to come together.
That's a grid you're walking across that it comes to a point. Yeah.
If you believe in the ball, retard.
Wow. See the mental gymnastics they have to actually do in this realm when it comes to like modern astrophysics and stuff like this.
It's easy if you break it down to like kids, but that's why they never really leave that mentality.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, if you actually go out in the real world, you experience something completely different, don't you?
Usually.
You're not disoriented. You can find the place. You can get there. You can back. Yeah. If these are actual things, you would experience it here on Earth too.
Right. We'd be on 0G right now.
Damn straight. Because we're moving through in a
Mach 5,000.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? But how do all those forces cancel each other out? I forgot the poetry that's behind all that. It's nuts. Yeah. Let's see where we're going to go from the point.
It's just the simple fact that the Earth is curved. That's all gravity is. Don't think about it as a force. Think about it as the geometry of space-time around stuff. And actually, this classic view of flat, warped space-time is also wrong. This is all just a visualization, but I try to imagine it more like this. But hang on.
Is this just
You're not stuck in a cage? Oh, I didn't know that.
Why does it matter how I describe gravity?
Like, Newton's theory says that gravity looks kind of like this, and Einstein's theory says it looks more like this, but same but different, right?
Why does it matter whether I think about gravity as a force that literally pulls things or as the curving of space-time?
I think that's a great question. The reason why it matters is because Newton's law, which describes this mass pulling and that mass pulling as you described, it's not exactly correct.
Einstein's space-time leads to genuinely different...
And I wish I had Wesley here right now. Explain why this physicist is saying this.
Not me.
No, actually, he came in the other day. I gave him all like a 30-minute segment. Let him and he didn't bring anything.
Not me either.
And Icy Spin came in and he showed me a photo which actually debunks the curvature of the Earth too. We were getting into like the actual.
Oh wait, this is on your show. Oh, I'm so glad I missed that. I'm so glad I missed that. See, sometimes I know I miss things for a reason.
Intuition.
Yeah, you know what I mean, Cubby. It's like God.
Yeah.
God told me like don't do it. You know,
the show was in the middle of the daytime, dude. So you didn't.
I guess.
Oh, we were busy working.
Yeah, because I was in Discord debating some of these assholes, and they're telling me that, I've seen a flat lake before. That doesn't mean that there's no curvature. And I gave them an open platform up here.
Did you show them how there's like 11 or 12 or 20-mile lakes that, or like water bodies of water?
Yeah, I was
especially in Canada. Especially in Canada.
I ran out of time before I could make a demonstration of my own, but they said they were going to come back.
Ran out of Discord time.
This was on my channel, so I ran out of time.
You have a Discord channel?
Actually, I do. Yeah.
No, he was just saying. Are you going on Discord? And what do you? It trickles over to your channel, and the next thing you know, you're arguing with retards, or I mean, glowtards. I mean, globies.
Well, the reason I went to Discord because I saw Andrew in there. He was debating like 6 different guys all by himself.
All by himself.
That's gracious.
Oh, what is he supposed to be like teaching children?
Well, he is. He's teaching globetards is what he's trying to do.
He's teaching and teaching.
Yeah, then it ain't learning. I hopped in for about 10 minutes on Discord. I made my point. And they were getting ready to ban me from worldwide debates, and I'm like, I'm not here to make a debate. I'm going to tell you what I know, and we're going to leave it at that. And I just walked out the room, dropped my hat.
Dude, don't you love this thumbnail right here? Like Einsteinian gravity, and look at it and go and just think to yourself, this makes sense.
What's that floating in? What medium?
I mean, seriously though, think about this as a regular person. I have no idea about anything, right? And you go, let's learn about Einsteinian gravity. This is what they explain.
Yeah, but what are they in? That's what.
This is top notch. I mean, come on, dude.
Well, he was
top notch, freaking,
Yeah,
unbelievable
content.
Yeah.
I would laugh my ass off if I was freaking 15, just learning about, sciences and stuff, like I'd be like, this is nonsense.
I talked to a couple of CU graduates up here or students, and they'll explain like you have to be constantly moving on Earth because it's moving. You got to keep up to be relative to everything on Earth that's moving. And they think they literally, when they're walking, they're actually on a treadmill. Basically, the Earth is Earth treadmill. They actually think physics is like that.
Like it's just moving, and we're walking over it, and
see, that's how it. That's how it should be. Yeah. If you're running, on the equator. Yeah. And you're running towards the whatever, west, right? You'd be running 1,000 miles an hour, and then if you ran the other way, you'd be running 0 miles an hour.
It's like the airplane's up on the equator, going east to west. You're flying backwards,
right?
Literally. You don't understand the conservation of momentum. And I've looked at the equation. Oh my God, it'd take you a week to actually add it all up to get an average of your conservation momentum. And that's just an equation. It doesn't actually.
I don't mess with all. That's why I say that over and over again. I don't mess with their math and science. It's made to confuse and not be answered. That's the whole point of it.
You're wasting time.
Yeah, you're wasting time, and it's explaining nothing. You're getting.
Dude, that's how I felt when I took chemistry, like high level chemistry. I was like, this is hurting my brain, and I didn't want to do it anymore. I quit being a freaking engineer. I was like, I can't be an engineer. I guess I'm not
an actual.
I can't do it.
Stuff you don't.
I know. I'm just saying though. Like in school, I was like, I am done with this equations and variables and all the bullshit of chemicals, of the chemistry. Like I was like, this is enough for me. I'm done. So I just quit.
Now you know why, like Professor Dave explains, he drinks his ass all the time because he's got to deal with the chemistry equations. That's what he does. He teaches it. But he's nuts.